Akiza, how do you feel on Mother's Day?
Well, on Mother's Day for me, it's like the day before, that's when everything starts all over again. The feeling, the thought of not having a mother, it all happens all over again. And it gets to the point where I actually feel kind of, well, depressed and in this mood of silence, don't want to talk or say anything.
Right.
It's just very horrible priming up to the day of Mother's Day. And then on the day itself, it's even more worse because then you get the opportunity to see other people sending pictures with their mother, getting the opportunity to wish them Happy Mother's Day, doing stuff with them and doing things with them. And I don't have that opportunity. It's very hard, it's very difficult. And I try my best to cope with it. But at the end of the day, I have to accept and do my best and just say that is what it is, knowing the fact that I don't have a mother to tell Happy Mother's Day.
Did you speak to anyone about your mom's death? If no, why?
Yes, I did. Actually, she had this very close friend that they were friends while she was alive. And after my mom's passing, we became a friend as well. So I used to relate my feelings and my thoughts to her that my mother died and stuff like that. So yes, I used to talk to her. But sometimes I wouldn't express myself or tell her everything. I will talk and express myself, but have a limit on it. So it wasn't something that I would fully express to anyone else. I would still hold back feelings and stuff like that because I don't know. It was just something that is there, and I don't think like people could take that away from me. So there was still some things that was hidden that I never really let out, but I did in terms of getting to talk to someone. I did that.
What kept you motivated as a teenager? What kept you going? What kept you wanting to continue? Tell me about that.
Well, actually, that is a good question. To be honest, I never really thought about it, but I know at the end of the day, I just got up and did stuff and just try and make it true. What I could say is that you need to believe in God. You need to have Him as a friend to talk to pray to. Because yes, you might talk to your friends, you might talk to family, but you would not let out what is really inside of you than you would do with talking to God. So God was a part of it. Me myself, my mother always used to say, God don't give you what you cannot bear. So I used to always have that thought in the back of my mind, accept things and see how I can move on the best way I can. Also with the idea of my other siblings being smaller than me, and then having the issue of my mother died, and then having my father to deal with his mental illness. Knowing that I was younger, I knew that I have a responsibility. So that as well pushed me to get up, do what I have to do, and don't just be there in the moment. I just had to figure out a how to make it and a how to do this and a how to do that. And I believe that God helped me to do that as well.
Where was your dad? Did you get the love that you wanted from him? How was it for him too? Because we already learned that he had a mental issue, all right? But you as a 14-year-old child going through life, how was it for him as well? And how was it for you to deal with all of this that was going on?
For my dad, I think it was very difficult for him. Um, well, in terms of dealing with it, I don't think he dealt with it properly or could have faced it because the end result was that he ended up getting sick and have a mental illness and stuff like that. So him dealing with that, it was very difficult. Unfortunately, while my mother was alive, me and my mom really had a close connection, and I did it with my father. So in terms of relationship wise or having that connection or support for him, it was not really there while I was growing up and having both parents there. But after my mom died, we really connected, and there's things that was wrong in the past that we made right. I put him sit down, I talk to him, and I tell him that he needs to be a better father, he needs to take up his role, he needs to do the things that he's supposed to. And it did happen eventually. He took that position, he did what he needed to as a father, I must say, even though he had the situation of dealing with a mental illness, he still put a step forward to doing that for us. For me, in terms of him with his mental illness, I felt left out not having his support, whether or not he was close. I felt alone, and it was hard sometimes, but at the end of the day, we came together and did something. I think he still have these little problems now and then because he still says he misses his wife. He still talks about her. So I know it's something I don't think he got over. Just as me, I don't think I got over this. I just go through the phase, go through life, and try my best, to accept what happened.
Did you have any issues like with social workers, knowing that okay, you are basically stuck alone? Your dad has a mental illness, your siblings are younger, and I guess that's who you were living with at the time, right?
Yes.
Right. So did you have any problems with social workers and stuff coming to your house and you know?
Oh yes, we did. I can remember incidents of social workers coming to our house because my mom died. I was 14. My other sisters was, well, the smallest I could remember was I think was about 5 years. Yeah, about 5 years old. 5 or 6 years old. I can't really remember like what age they were, but I think it was around that age range. Yes, and social worker came to our house because there was an issue of both parents not being fit to take care of their children. My mom is dead. My father has a mental illness. And they wanted to take us. They wanted to put us in a home and all these kinds of things. Now, that was very devastating. Knowing that you lose your mother and the only place you knew that is home, they actually came there to take you away from that. So that was difficult to deal with. They came, they asked questions. They asked financial questions, sorry. They asked about our living, our routines, all these things. They questioned all these things. And at the end of the day, I did not want to go. No matter how hard or difficult it was, I did not want to go. My other sisters and brothers did not want to go either. So, knowing the fact that my father had a mental illness, that is why I put him, sit down and talk to him and get him and try to motivate him the best way I can. So at least he could show some form of responsibility for us, even though he's in the state that he is in. So we would not have to go through this kind of thing where we are taken away from the one place we know that is home. And I think I need to take over my uncle, and I think I could be responsible, even though I'm at 14, to do a better job and to help my siblings at home to avoid this thing of being taken away by social workers to another place. I do not want to go anywhere. I rather be here. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. It doesn't matter how hard it is. It doesn't matter if I have to stay without food. I just want to be here. And that was just my main goal and objective.
So basically you did not get taken away. So you had the choice to say whether you wanted to leave or you wanted to stay. That's how it went?
Yes, he had the choice whether we should say if he wanted to stay or leave. But with that, we needed some kind of adult support or somebody being responsible. That's why I took on my own to talk to my dad and see if things could get better and us not being in that predicament.
What was it like for your siblings growing up?
Well, since that they were younger than me, I think they were more devastated about that than I was or any other person older. Because I believe that the way I probably could respond or talk about things, they cannot. They probably just have to sit there in their little minds worried, frustrated, and not relating their feelings the best way they can. But one thing I can remember that they used to talk about it, like say they miss their mother. So I knew it was bothersome to them. I tried my best as the bigger sister to help out in areas like that. Like sometimes when they will come and ask me things like that, I would feel emotional myself. I would feel like I want to break down and just cry, bawl, scream, everything in one. But you had to maintain composure. So I did that. It was difficult doing that, especially the part to explain about their mother die at this young age, and I have to do that myself. It was difficult and hard to do that for myself to them to tell him that and let it come to terms and reality of that. The fact that my father was, he had a mental illness, but he was there, so it still had the hope that he will be there for us. But over time, I did it, and I tried my best way to comfort them, to show them that I love them, to show them that, okay, I am here. I may not be a mother, but I'm trying my best to fill in the gap to show you that love that she once showed you. But it affected them. I think it affected them in a lot of areas. Like school, for instance, is not picking up as how they should because there's situations and challenges at home. Their minds are so young to even comprehend, but they're still in there and they're trying, even though they are young. So all these things had a drastic effect on them. Like one of my sisters, she's very emotional. She don't talk a lot, but she's very emotional. Like when she's angry, she's just numb, nothing to say, and just cry. So all these things affected them, I must say. And I think it was more difficult for them than it was for anybody else. One more thing I was add, when it comes to that, they were younger. Yes, we got in support, but at the end of the day, I was left alone with my younger sisters and brothers. Family will just come back, hey, how you doing? Everything okay? No, everything is not okay, but they will still expect you to say it's okay. And even though it's not, and you explain that to them, the reality still remains the same because they would do nothing about it. They'll just be like, hold on, keep your faith, keep trusting God, and everything will be okay. But it's like you want that physical and that hug or that touch from them, and they will never do that to you. All they will do is just talk with their mouth and just say, hold on, be strong, and not give you that physical loving support. And that was one of the things that was lacking in that. Yes, I used to try with my sisters, but like for family and stuff like that, it's like I never used to get that, and it used to be difficult because all they used to do was talk to me. At the end of the day, all they used to do was just talk, word off a mouth, and nothing is being done.
So now that you've mentioned family, what's the relationship like with your family now at this present moment since you're older and you have children?
Well, my relationship with my family, I would just say it's okay. It's, I think it's just I for myself, you for yourself. Yes, they would still pass and say, hey, how you doing? But they wouldn't put that foot forward into giving you something more. So you could see that, okay, my family is really for me. They want to see better. They want to see this. You yourself, it's like you for yourself have to find this zeal and this effort within yourself to do what I have to do because nobody else is going to do it for me. And if you're looking for family to do it for you, it's like a dream you've been waiting for. There was instant, I can remember this one moment, particular situation where it was, there was no money. I had no money, and my father wasn't there. My mother died, right? My father was in the mental hospital.
Okay.
And my mother died, right? And there were family there to help me. And to me, it's like they did not. It's like they just used to came by, see how you're doing, and that's it. Well, eventually somebody ended up telling me that, okay, Kisa, I will help you out with some money, whatever. But it was from away, right? And I had to, well, I didn't have an ID card or anything at the time. So I told one of my family members that they should do that. They did that, they went for the money, and then they was like, oh, your father owed me. That's what they told me. So in the situation of that, no, that my father owed them, I have to pay my father bill because it's my dad. So I had to pay my father bill. And that really shook me up because I started to cry, bawl, scream, everything. Like I have these 3 children to see about, and I have to be giving you what I don't even have. Somebody, well, put a foot forward to bless me with it, and you're the one telling me that. And that just blew my mind. Even up to this day, I'm like, I could never forget what happened. Well, I wouldn't say all of them, but the majority of them, you don't get the support that you need. They always have a negative when they're supposed to be bringing a positive to you.
So what do you think would have been different if your mom was still alive?
The thing that would be different if my mom is still alive is that she's there. She's there. She can give you that guidance, that support. It's like your mother is everything to you. it's like, um, imagine the sea without water. That wouldn't make any sense, right?
Right.
Because there's other things in the sea, like the fishes need that water. It's like your mother is like a permanent state to you, and you need that to be there. And when it's taken away, it's a lot, right? Her being today would have mean everything. I wouldn't have to go through all these things. I wouldn't have these responsibilities. I wouldn't have to put myself on a back burner, I should say, and do what I have to sacrifice. Okay, that's the word, sacrifice for others, right? The way I needed to. I think everything would have been balanced and not off balance, where I have to feel neglected, or I have to feel lonely, or I have to take on all these burdens on my shoulders to do everything. Because she would be there to take some of the weight and some of the shifting with me. Even though I would have to put my foot in and help her or be responsible with her, it's still good because you have somebody there. It's like a confidant. Your confidant is always different. You can feel free, you can be natural with that person. But other people outside of that, you cannot be natural. It's like, yes, you're there, but you're not really there because you're not really you. So having your mother there, it just makes you feel like you are being you, or just having that thing, a realness to your life, a purpose to your life, somebody to share things with and not be judged, somebody to have comfort with and be like, okay, I know I did this, I know that, but at the end of the day, that person is with me. You know, like you
No
ride
matter
and
what,
die,
right?
right? You ride and die, that kind of concept. She will fill this gap, not only for me, but for my other siblings as well, because she has other children. So I think she would have done that for them. I think the bigger ones too that even grown, they probably experienced in a way that I didn't, because I lost her at 14. So I think they got that because they always just say, oh, mommy was a nice person. She always liked to smile and look at us, behave like your mother, right? But I never really experienced that to that extent.
What is one thing that you wish you could have said to your mom before she passed?
What I would like to say to her is that I love her because she's everything to me, and I think that she is like my best friend. Um, Besides God, that is, yes, she would be one of my best friends. Um, I would like to tell her, there's a lot of words, I don't think one word is enough. There's a lot I would like to say, but I love you summarize everything that I would like to say. And most of all, her presence here would be valued very, very deeply. That's what I would tell her. I advise any young person out there, or any adult that lost their mother, or taking care of somebody with mental illness, or a friend or relatives. The best thing I could tell you is to hold strong, keep your faith in God. Always remember, God doesn't give you what you cannot bear. The journey might be hard, no, and difficult, but when you make it to the other side, it's gonna be worth it, because you have learned something, you have grown stronger, you have become someone that you would never imagine in your life you would become. You have faced your challenges and your fear, so it's good. Give yourself to God, surrender, ask Him to take control. Don't be the one trying to do everything on your own and trying to be somebody that, oh, I got this. Actually, you don't. And you have to go to God. Friends, alcohol, partying, all these things will not make it for you. You have to find something within yourself. Love yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and say, I can do this, I can make it, I can do anything possible once I have God with me. Even though I lost my mother, even though I'm going through these circumstances right now, at the end of the day, one day you are going to make it, because God ordained it, God proclaimed it, and He professed it, and one day you shall make it in the name of Jesus.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I think that you were brave to come on here and share a story with the public, basically with the world, because we never know how far this could reach. And I think that, and I'm hoping that you help someone who might be going through this same situation, or who have went through the situation and don't know how to deal with it. But I want to say thank you so much for being a part of this video, and it was well appreciated. So now that you're older, what is one thing you would like to say to your mom?
Dear mom, if you were here, I will show you all the things in life that I have done. I'll share my moments, my secrets, everything that I needed to do with you. You are everything to me. Dear mom, I miss you. You mean the world to me. Oh God, it hurts very much to know that you're not here. What am I to do in this world without you? This world with all these fears, challenges, obstacles, difficulties, without your advice, your guidance, nothing to see. Oh God, this is very, very painful. Dear Mom, I wish you was alive. Dear Mom, in this present moment, you will hug me, you will hold me, you will show me your warm and treasures. Oh God, I miss my mother's touch. Oh God, I miss my mother's love. What can I do? What can I say? I am stronger now because I have accept you that you have died. But I am not over the fact that I am missing you. I am missing you every day of my life. I am missing you every moment. I am missing you with all my secrets I cannot share. Friends doesn't matter. Family doesn't matter because the one I love is really gone. There's a hole in my heart and I miss my mom. But most of all, I would love for you to see your grandchildren. My mother, I dearly miss you. And God gave me small moments with you to treasure, and I treasure them. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for the small moments I had with you because they meant everything. Thank you, Mom. Love your daughter, Akiza James.